Mrs. Maisel review.
Ooh.
Cast Rachel Brosnahan as Miriam Midge.
Oh yeah, well I put that note.
Oh.
I'm sorry, those were notes.
We know who the people are.
Yeah, no, that was just for my benefit. Really, I put the cast out there because
We finished
we finished
the season ending,
of
show ending.
the Marvelous Miss Maisel. I had to say, because and I'm excited the fact that Rachel is at Brosnahan, and that's why I put the notes there, is in the running, or theoretically is in the running to play Lois Lane, because at first I was like thinking like what some people were saying in the comments, the person that's in second place on our chart, that lady that was I forgot her name, they were like, why her? But now I'm starting to think I would be okay with I can't remember her name, the Sex Education, the TV show. If you watch that show on Netflix, or was it Amazon, Sex Education, you know who I'm talking about, the actress that's pretty much, it's between Rachel and that actress. Now I'm 50-50 on both. I'm okay with either or. I'm more leaning towards Rachel because I love what we just saw in Marvelous Miss Maisel. She's in the same, if you like that 1950s era Superman, you know she could play that. She was the clothes. Obviously we're gonna have a modern Superman, but I think she could pull off. I've liked that actress ever since House of Cards. I mean, she played a prostitute, but but she has range. She's funny. She's strong. She played a strong-minded character. She could crush it as Lois Lane. Miss Maisel, go now. Stop talking about Superman. Miss Maisel ended. How did you feel like about the ending of it, as far as like a season?
I thought it was a really
finale?
nice tie-up. Like it wrapped everything up nicely, and it just left it on a nice note. It wasn't one of those that you were like,
yeah, he wasn't disappointed. Like The Sopranos, like the way that ended. Did he die? I don't know. And then it was such I hate it when shows have such a phenomenal story overall, and then their season finale, like Seinfeld. Like it's like it wasn't that great. I think this is 2 for 2. We saw Modern Family. We binge watched Modern Family. And I thought that ended very well. I thought Marvelous Mrs. Maisel ended. It left me wanting more. Not wanting another season, wanting more episodes.
I mean, I know I read some reviews and people that didn't care for the last season, but I liked it. I understand that sometimes the flashbacks were the only things that took me out. Because they didn't always put
the dates.
So you were like, wait a minute, are we in the current, past, future? Where are we at?
Yeah, herself 20 years later is still looking exactly the same. She's aging very well.
Sometimes they only jumped ahead or behind maybe 5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was,
you couldn't tell what you were looking at.
But you were like, wait a minute, I'm lost as to where we are.
And they rarely put dates down, and that was my only criticism. I thought that the show was going to end with when you see her finally. Well, it kind of did, where she had her big moment. Maybe like she gets her own show or something like that, her own tour show, and she's the main comic or something like that. And it kind of did. We saw her in the future where she has already made it, but she was still going through some drama with her old manager. I was afraid that it was going to end with them at odds with each other, and I wasn't going to like that. I was, as much as I understood the drama between Midge and what was her manager's name? Especially Susie and Midge and Susie, played by Alex Borstein. I was glad that it resolved the way it did. The only tension she really had with anybody was probably with her kids.
I know some people wanted to see something more with her and her ex-husband Joel, I think it was on purpose for you to see.
She admitted that she's not really good with men. That relationships.
She mentioned at one point she was married numerous times.
Yeah, you said in the future. Yeah,
but that
she still loved. But she still
pretty much.
That's probably why those marriages failed, because that was her person. Yeah, that was her.
They just
didn't need to be married to each other. Yeah, and you know what? And I thought about that.
She still had his picture in her house.
She still loved him. And they probably still knocked it out every now and then. They got together. They banged it out. Midge.
I think she figured she was just better
by herself because her career came. And he probably understood that. He understood that by the end of season 1. And at first I was like, oh, come on, get them back together. Especially since he's not, if he's not going to be with the other woman that he thought he was going to have a baby with, let's get back with me. But then I was like, you know what? Well, we've seen that we've seen that story many times. Yeah, you know what? It was messy. A lot of things are messy. Real life is messy. And so their relationship is messy. They're going to knock it out every Thanksgiving. That's their relationship. Booty buddies. You know, the marvelous Miss Booty Buddy. That's her. I love it. I thought it was great. But it wrapped up nicely. I recommend it. It's an easy watch. If you haven't seen The Marvelous Miss Maisel, we got 5 seasons, 10 episodes each. Pretty easy to watch. The thing that I didn't like...
I think the way, if you haven't ever watched it, the first couple of episodes, it does take you a minute to get
Because it takes her a minute. Because it takes her a minute to get
so you
to
have
find
to
herself.
To remember, keep watching past the first couple before you really get.
Didn't we just see a joke about that?
Yes.
People hate, like, you get recommended a show and then before you watch
45 episodes in.
It's like
don't give up.
Okay, the first 45 episodes are not gonna be that great, but once you get past, he said the first 45. No, he said this was a Seinfeld show. He said you get recommended a show and then they're like, all right, the first 45 seasons aren't that great, but. No, it's not. With Midge, I would say the first 2 or 3.
Yeah, it was just the first. I think for me, maybe 2.
Yeah, I was in after the first.
Okay, it took a minute for it to get funny and you to see all the twists and turns.
Maybe because I was probably buying
backstory. It took a minute to get through that.
The one thing I didn't buy into, and I understand comedians being upset with the whole thing where they should have hired a real comedian to play that part. Okay, but she's only doing stand-up comedy like maybe 2% of the whole series.
Yeah.
The rest is acting.
Is her life and yeah.
Like you don't hire. I mean the same way comedians get upset when people go because being a comic is the one career that comedians always say that everybody thinks that they can do. Like, I can get up there and do. No, you can't. You can't do what a comedian does. Comedians, that is a skill. But comedians that were protesting this series have to understand that acting is also, is that not everybody has it. Not every comedian has it.
And there's a difference between comedy and acting as well. You can be a fantastic comic
and sucky actor
and not have the timing you need to act and be funny acting.
Yeah.
And the opposite as well.
Oh yeah, we've seen many series crap out because the dude that we thought is hilarious on stage just doesn't have the knack on screen.
We've seen them on talk shows or different things that you're like, they're usually really funny, but not so much just in the regular world.
Yeah. If the series was about a stand-up comedy, like 90% of the show, hire a comedian, hire a comic, stand-up. But it was 90% acting, drama, tension. There was all kinds of range in there with it. I love The Parents. Recently watched
oh my gosh, they were such nuts. They were driving me crazy.
Rose Wiseman and
Tony Shalhoub.
Yeah, as the Wisemans, as Abe. They were the best throughout, and they were the best this last season too. And Gordon Ford, or Reed Scott as Gordon Ford. He turned out to be one of the best characters that I enjoyed. That wasn't really a part of the main cast. He finally won me over by the very last episode, but he was pretty good. I liked him in Veep, but I liked Reed
Justin
Scott.
says Hacks on Max is similar. I don't know that show. I may have to look it up.
That's funny to say. I like Hacks on Max. I like that. I'll check it out. Hacks. Okay, I get because you're a comedic hack. Mm-hmm. Okay, I've never heard it, but I'll look into it. If it's similar, then we like Marvelous Miss Maisel. We'll check it out. I like Hacks on Max. I like that. That's funny. That's weird to say. All right, guys. We saw the Marvelous Miss Maisel. We recommended. We enjoyed it. Let's move on to what is the next. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button, like, and comment your thoughts on this topic or any topics that you think that we should talk about in upcoming videos. Also, you can follow us at T3 Medias on Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and we also have a T3 Media Studios podcast where we post our movie reviews and episodes of The Rundown. Till next time, guys.